Mr. Leonidas here. Hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll be going over my collection from the LFK series of one of my favorite knife companies, Hardcore Hardware of Australia. And the reason I'm doing this video, I thought it'd be really fun because these are all knives from the same series, but they're all different generations of knives. For example, I have one of the original LFK models. This first one here is the LFK-02. Next up is the LFK-03. And the newest one here is the LFK-08. And so I'm going to be going over some of the style and design differences that have changed with these knives over the years. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's take a closer look. Here are the three knives from the LFK series that I own. On the far left is the LFK-02. In the middle is the 03 model, and on the far right is the 08. And I've really enjoyed carrying and using these knives over the years. They're just really great, compact, tactical fixed blade knives. They go really well carried on a belt, a backpack, and especially a tactical rig, and they just really work for me. So I'm going to start off talking about commonalities between the knives, and then go over some of the differences and some of the changes that have happened over the years, and also their respective sheaths are out front, so I'll just mention those briefly as well. I'll go and start with just mentioning about the LFK-02. This is one of the original Hardcore Hardware tactical fixed blade LFK series knives. Unfortunately, this blade style is discontinued. This is I'm going to say it's like a modified Warncliffe. It's sort of like a chopped down Warncliffe, and it's one mean chunk of steel. And all these knives are 1/4 inch thick D2 tool steel, very beefy, robust, compact tactical fixed blades, and this is one of my all-time favorite tactical fixed blades. So that is one of the originals from the year 2012, I believe, so over 5 years ago. And the LFK-03 here, that was from 2015. And then now this 08 model, that's the most recent one I've acquired, and that is from 2017, so very new knife. And so some commonalities here is each of these LFK knives, they all have the large finger choil, which gives you a very great purchase on them. You can get your index finger through that, and it gives you fantastic retention on these little fixed blades. And I've always really enjoyed that. I think it gives them a great look, but also you get good functionality out of that, which is obviously the most important factor when you're talking about knives is functionality. So I really like that big finger groove for your index finger. And other things is all of these have really nice jimping, very beefy, deep, but not not uncomfortable. I mean, they're like ridges, but you also get very good traction. And on each of these knives, they do have some really good jimping, and I've appreciated that while using them. Each of them have sort of like a spiked pommel. You could maybe even call it like a crushing pommel. And I always thought that was a very interesting addition to these knives, and it also helps as like an extra, like a finger groove for your pinky when you're holding on one of these, like this LFK-03. And each of them have a lanyard hole, which can be very useful with fixed blade knives, giving you extra retention. I got the piece of paracord, gives me a pinky ring on the back, so I won't drop the knife. So that's a very good addition. So there's some, obviously a lot of similarities in the series, but as you continue, through the years, you'll see some differences, and we'll go into some of that. So like the original here, it was a paracord wrap. It is coated in a resin, so it's very stiff. It doesn't slide around, and it's wrapped very, very tightly. So I can say that when they were back when they were putting these together, they did a fantastic job. One of the best I've ever seen on a production knife like this. I was honestly a little sad to see that they stopped doing that. So by the time they got to the 2015 models, they switched over to G10. And these had very, very light grooves. It's a comfortable handle. It's a bit of a bulky handle, but you're able to get a good purchase on it. And it it is drops right in your palm there. Get your hand around it, and you move on to the newest series like this 08 model, and you have the very deep grooves in the G10, and I like that a lot. It's very comfortable. It doesn't make your hand swell when you wrap your hand around the grip like that. It all your fingers drop right in those grooves. Very comfortable. Very good progression over the years. Some things that I miss, but like I said, some very good progression, and I like to see things like that as a company grows, it's good to make positive changes like that. Now, as for the sheaths, here's from the original, from the LFK-02. This is got the insert with your cordura wrapped around with your MOLLE attachment with your PALS webbing setup, and I really liked it. One thing that I didn't care for when the knife did go in there is it locked in, but on this LFK-02, once you got it snapped in, you had a little bit of play, and I'm one of those guys, I don't care for play on my knife, but if you wear it, you know, right side up, you're not going to notice that, especially on a belt. But if you're hanging it, you know, upside down from a pack, yeah, you're definitely going to see a little bit of play. But overall, it is a very well-made sheath. I like the look. I thought it looked great, but, you know, functionality may not have been the best. And so HHA continued on, and they switched over to Kydex with tech locks. And I'm a huge fan of tech locks because they work fantastic on your belt, and then you can weave them into the PALS webbing, and they'll fit on your MOLLE gear. So this makes this knife, you know, go universally just anywhere on your gear, on your person, backpacks, tactical rigs, all of that. And obviously they kept, you know, the same idea continuing on the newer LFK models. They kept up with the Kydex and the tech lock, and I really appreciated that. I mean, I like the nylon. It looks great. It did work, but moving on to the Kydex gave them the best form and fit and function they were going to get out of these knives. And hands down, these are some of the best Kydex sheaths that come with a production knife, because you get amazing, amazing retention. Ridiculously good. Ridiculous. I mean, it's rock solid. You know, some would say maybe too tight. I don't think so, because as you use these knives and you draw them and you put them back in the sheath, they're going to loosen up. You're going to see, you know, some wear, and the knife will draw, you know, faster. But that is absolutely rock solid retention, and that, you know, changes like that, to see Kydex sheaths come with a production knife like that is that well made, it's fantastic. So those are the three knives from the LFK series that I own. I love all three of them. They're fantastic knives. They're, like I said, you know, go great. Carried multiple ways. I've carried them on my belt before, backpacks, tactical rigs, and I just really enjoy them. I've enjoyed seeing the changes to the knives over the years. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you can comment, I'd love to read that and respond to it. And also subscribe to my channel. That helps me out. I appreciate it.